In Toronto, 800,000 gets you a choice. It's a condo downtown or maybe an aging bungalow in the outer suburbs, maybe built in the 60s or 70s, needing work and 45 minutes from the core. In Calgary, that same 800,000 buys you a fully detached home, over 2,000 square feet, four bedrooms, maybe a garage and a yard. Same budget, completely different outcome. This is where most buyers underestimate what Calgary actually offers. I pulled the live listings this morning, 800 to 850,000. There are 213 homes for sale, and 201 of them are fully detached homes. While you let that sink in, if you are considering a move, the first step is to schedule a no obligation relocation call. I'll walk through your numbers, your timeline, and what actually makes sense. Now, here's where the $800,000 story in Calgary becomes hard to ignore. There are 201 fully detached homes available right now at this price point. Key point, the citywide benchmark is 733,000. So at 800,000, you're not trying to get into the market, you're choosing within it. Here's where that becomes more nuanced because where you buy changes what that home looks like. Let's break it down. In the city center, there's about 20 listings with a benchmark around 955,000. So at 800,000, you're below the typical home. So you are buying older character properties like in Rosemont, Banff Trail, Capitol Hill, but they're closer to downtown. They have transit and major parks. They're location-driven decisions. You're trading age for access. In the West, there are only about 15 listings, the fewest in the city. Benchmark's about 977,000. So at 800,000, your options sit in established communities like Glendale, Rosscarrick, and Glamorgan. Homes from the 50s to the 1980s, quiet streets, mature trees, and close to the reservoir. Limited inventory but strong locations. And this is where buyers often pause because now you're choosing between location and condition. In the Northwest, things open up. About 25 listings, benchmark about 770,000. So 800,000 puts you ahead of the market. There's more selection. You have established communities like Charleswood, Rocky Ridge, and Royal Oak. There's strong schools, access to the mountains, and a balance of older and newer homes. This is where many families start to focus. Now, the South, this is where inventory really opens up. There's 43 listings, the highest in the city. Benchmark is around 705,000. So at 800,000, you're comfortably above the market, which means better homes, better streets, or better conditions. Communities like Oak Ridge, Shawnee Slopes, Sundance, these are established communities, some near the reservoir, some with lake access. This is where buyers start to feel like they have options. The Southeast tells a similar story, but with a lifestyle angle. There's about 30 listings, benchmark about 690,000, so at 800,000, you have real buying power. Communities like Mahogany, Auburn Bay, Douglasdale, lake communities, river access, newer builds mixed with established homes. And this is where many relocation buyers land because it feels like a complete lifestyle shift, not just a housing change. Now, the North has 37 listings, benchmark around 643,000. This is where the newest homes live at this price point. Many were built in the last 5 years, like Sherwood, Kincora, some older communities, Panorama Hills, but there's modern layouts, turnkey conditions, and growing amenities up there. At 800,000, you're well above the typical home, and it shows. If brand new is your priority, communities like Carrington, Livingston, and Rangeview are worth checking out. But there's a trade-off, the distance from downtown, and the communities are still being built out. This is where the real decision starts because most buyers don't struggle with what they can afford, they struggle with what they're willing to trade. So inner city or newer home, character or convenience, commute or condition. There isn't a right answer, only the one that fits your life. And this is where most relocation buyers get stuck, not because of budget, but because of clarity. In Toronto, 800,000 forces a compromise. In Calgary, it forces a decision. And those are two very different things. I've spent 19 years helping people move from cities like Toronto and Vancouver, and the question always comes back to this. What does 800,000 need to do for you? If it's space, ownership, and a home that actually fits your life, Calgary gives you that option. If you want to understand what that looks like for your situation, your timeline, your numbers, your priorities, schedule a call. We'll map it out clearly so you can make the right decision before you start making offers.